Attention all wrestling fans, get ready for the ultimate fan experience at the WCBS WrestleMania Fan Meetup in Los Angeles, California from March 30th through April 2nd. This event will bring together the biggest event in wrestling and your favorite podcast, as well as diehard fans from all over the world. This is the perfect opportunity for fans to connect and celebrate their love of the sport as well as their love of us. So mark your calendars, grab your tickets, and get ready to suck it and join us live. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience of the WCBS WrestleMania Fan Meetup weekend in LA. And if you're not a wrestling fan, there will be other YouTube creator events, including a trip to the brand new Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios. So listen to World Class Bullshitters Live for more updates, and for more information, email worldclassbs@mail.com. Thebestmail.com, jabroni.
The following is a World Class Bullshitters exclusive.
If you're one of the millions of people that watched the Super Bowl last night, you might be disappointed with the outcome of the game. But the thing people online are talking about the most is a trailer that dropped during the Super Bowl. So DC's next film is The Flash, starring Ezra Miller. Wait, DC's next film isn't The Flash. Oh, it's Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Like most of you, I forgot that DC film was coming out because DC films are in a weird place. A few weeks back, it was announced that James Gunn and Peter Safran were taking over the DC film slate for Warner Brothers, and they were wiping the slate clean, except for a few films, one of those films being The Flash. And now we got a better glimpse at the Flash film, and it doesn't look like a Flash film at all. It looks more like a Batman film. Not that I'm complaining, but let's talk about that. So the Super Bowl trailer featured voiceovers by Michael Keaton, featured voiceovers from Ben Affleck. It featured copious amounts of footage of Ben Affleck Batman in action, riding a motorcycle, Michael Keaton Batman flying around, fighting bad guys. And it did feature The Flash, but he felt like he was the third most important character in his own film. And yes, there are two versions of The Flash, but who gives a shit? Clearly we don't, and Warner Brothers knows that. So it's obvious that The Flash is a lesser character than Batman. Yes, The Flash has had 2 television series over the years, countless comic books, action figures, cartoon appearances, and more, but it's a safe statement to make, The Flash is not as popular as Batman. Now, DC is no stranger to taking a gamble with their lesser popular characters and putting them on film. We have films like Jonah Hex, Green Lantern, and Black Adam. And they all sucked. And they all failed too. So with a film like The Flash, DC needs to insulate itself. But you might say, the TV show starring Grant Gustin, what a great show. Yeah, it's a fine show, but it's also a television show. A television show doesn't require the same financial commitment that a film does. The budget that's publicly released for a film is only part of the budget. Usually in Hollywood accounting, they tell you to take 2.5 times the budget to find the break-even mark. And Warner Brothers realized that the break-even mark for The Flash was Batman, because not many people are going to go see a movie about The Flash. Now, character popularity aside, there's something else, another reason why people don't necessarily like The Flash. The actor that plays him. Could it be that he's goofy? Could it be that he runs poorly? Or could it be the fact that he's a criminal? Yes, Ezra Miller is not a well-liked guy. A few years back, he ran into some legal trouble where he got caught on camera choking some people, breaking into hotels, and guess what? He got away with just a slap on the wrist. Hey, but it's 2023, and if you're a rich actor, you can get away with anything. Just ask Alec Baldwin. Now, I'm not too upset about less Ezra Miller. It's not like I actually like the guy. Here's a list of actors I'd like to see play the Flash over Ezra Miller. It's a long list because it includes everyone except him. Now, after all the legal trouble, why would DC push forward with this film? Well, it's simple. It's the most important film in their slate. They'd like to tell you that the upcoming Superman film, the upcoming Batman film, the upcoming Wonder Woman film, those are all the most important for the DC slate. But no, this film is the most important film in the DC slate for one reason. Because it features the multiverse, and this is the excuse to get every company out of any problem they've ever put themselves in. Hollywood's found a way to write themselves out of any corner. The multiverse. They have found a way to include every actor from every version of every film you've ever liked to sell you toys through the multiverse. And that's what The Flash is doing. It is setting up the multiverse for DC films. It has to come up with a way to create a timeline jump between the new stuff, the old stuff, and the really old stuff. If it works, DC will have created a bridge between multiple generations of superhero films, and that will be wonderful. And if it doesn't work, well, this is DC, so I don't really expect it to work. What I'm seeing here is their attempt at Into the Spider-Verse. 2 years ago, we got Spider-Man, and Spider-Man, not attorneys at law. They went on an adventure together to fight Electro, Sandman, Shocker, and the rest of the Sinister Six. 5? I don't remember how many bad guys they fought, but it's irrelevant. What it did do is it opened up the timeline for all the original actors to play Spider-Man to come back. Sort of like Into the Spider-Verse. A few years back, there was an animated film that featured multiple different versions of Spider-Man. There's a sequel coming out that features multiple different versions of Spider-Man, and they were big hits. The multiverse is also a way of selling you the same character 50 times over. Oh, you like Spider-Man? Oh, you like Batman? Well, here's Multiverse Spider-Man. Here's Multiverse Batman. What's the difference? They're the same, but this Batman comes from a timeline where his parents were nuclear scientists that worked on the space station, and his suit's purple, so you gotta buy the action figure. Well, here's Multiverse Spider-Man. Uncle Ben didn't get shot by an intruder. Peter Parker actually went on to become a famous TV show host. But he has a different costume, so we have to sell you an action figure. That's what Warner Brothers is banking on. They really don't care about The Flash. They want to sell you tons of toys from multiple lines from all of their different films. They want to find a justification to make more Michael Keaton toys because, yes, they still do make them sparingly, and yes, they do sell very well. But Warner Brothers sees that, and they need a way to make even more money on it regularly, so they'll invest a little bit of money into this film just so they can sell you more Batman all the time. And The Flash, he's irrelevant to this film. I know that's a crazy thing to say, but that's the reality of the situation. It's all about the money for these companies. And The Flash is the perfect film to open the door for all of that merchandise revenue. So the film itself just needs to be good enough to get people to buy. It needs to be good enough to get people to show up, sort of. It needs to be interesting enough for people to talk about it on the internet. And, well, it's working. The trailer, which features The Flash, isn't that interesting. 2 Ezra Millers? No thank you. Barry 1 and Barry 2, I've read The Cat in the Hat, and the things are my least favorite part of the story, so I'm not looking forward to this film. The only thing I'm looking forward to is Michael Keaton Batman, and a little bit of Ben Affleck on the side. I don't care about Supergirl, I don't care about the other heroes, I don't really want to see General Zod fight again. I didn't like Man of Steel, but I do like Batman, and that's what Warner Brothers was banking on. Michael Keaton's suit, it looks fine. The Hall of Suits, I wonder where they got that from. Hall of Armors for Iron Man, maybe. I know Batman's always had his suits on display, but he who gets to film first does it first in the mainstream. And Iron Man, and most of Marvel, they've really beaten DC to the punch. DC beat Marvel to print by almost 30 years, but on film, Marvel's wiping the floor with them. Anything the DC characters do feel like a second attempt that the Marvel characters already achieved. Did they do it better? Time will tell. It's too early to judge the Flash film. But Doctor Strange, Into the Spider-Verse, Infinity War, and a few other films really show you that the multiverse has existed beforehand. And this is DC's attempt to do it right. And hopefully that happens. But like I've said here on this channel multiple times, the multiverse is the death of originality. It gives these studios a backdoor to do literally anything. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know that sounds fun, but sometimes reason's more important. Why is The Flash teaming up with Michael Keaton? We'll find out in June, but I'll tell you right now, it's not because it's integral to the story, it's integral to get people to go see The Flash. So folks, I want to know what you think about this. This Flash trailer just seems more like a Batman film because, well, Batman's more popular, Batman's more well-received, and Ezra Miller's a nut bar, and people don't like him, myself included. So folks, 3 questions for today. 1, what did you think of the Flash trailer? 2, what do you think of Ezra Miller's legal trouble? And 3, who is your favorite Batman? A lot of people like Keaton, a lot of people like Christian Bale, and a lot of people like Ben Affleck. Well, you got a film that's going to feature Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton as Batman. Now, if only Christian Bale can show up, then it'll be a real party. But am I alone in this? Am I the only one that thinks this feels sort of like a ripoff of Spider-Man No Way Home? Look, money talks, bullshit walks, and studios are going to follow the dollar. And they clearly have followed the multiverse dollar to the Flash film. And in about 4 months, we'll know how good or bad following that is. So folks, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, we know you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and hit the subscribe so you don't miss anything else that we put out here on this channel. If you want even more content, hit the join button. Upgrade to a WCBS YouTube member and unlock a world of exclusive content, perks, and benefits. As a member, you'll get access to behind-the-scenes footage, early access to new videos, and more. Plus, you'll be able to show your support for our channel and connect with other members in our exclusive community. But that's not all. Members will also have the opportunity to join our monthly Q&A sessions where you can ask us anything and interact with us in real time in our members-only streams. And for those who love to show their support, we've got exclusive member-only discounts on all WCBS merchandise. So what are you waiting for? Pick the tier that's right for you today. You get more at each level, including a credit on all future WCBS videos and access to our Patreon back catalog with over 1,000 hours of content. Join the WCBS YouTube member program today and take your viewing experience to the next level. Memberships start at $5, which is only 17 cents a day, and with inflation, you can't get a lot for $5 these days. Hell, you can't even get a dozen eggs, but you can get yourself over a month of entertaining content here on the WCBS YouTube membership program. So folks, thank you for watching. We'll be back next time with more, but in the meantime, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other. Thanks for watching today's video. Yes, it's over, but don't cry because there's more, a lot more from World Class Bullshitters. And there's only one way to get it. Hit that subscribe button below. When you do that, you'll get notifications and updates from World Class Bullshitters every time we go live. Basically, you won't miss anything. And if there's one thing I hate, it's FOMO. But the thing most people hate more than FOMO is fear of missing out on World Class Bullshitters, because there's just some things you can't undo. So folks, do yourselves a favor and never miss anything from World Class Bullshitters. One last thing before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Not for our egos, no, they're big enough as this, but it does help us fight the algorithm here, and well, it's man versus machine, and that's the real fight. But if that's not your battle, that's okay. There's one last way you can help WCBS, and that's going over to shopwcbs.com, picking up a t-shirt, a beer glass, a sweatshirt, a poster, all sorts of ways to back WCBS. The difference between us and other YouTube channels is I'm the artist that makes all this stuff, so if you enjoy art beyond t-shirts, you can even read our comic books. We got it all. We're called the epitome of pop culture for a reason, and no, again, it's not for our egos. So folks, make sure you're involved with every aspect of World Class Bullshitters, not just for us, but do it for yourself. We're making the change in entertainment everybody out there wants to see. And a special thank you goes out to all of our wonderful patrons who make this content possible. Go to patreon.com/worldclassbs to get involved and help out the channel.